What's good, everybody? It's Big Game James, man. I'm in these streets, back in these work streets. Just thought I'd make a quick video. You know, a lot of stuff been going on this week. Not really, but just thought I'd make a video transpiring about the three kings, as we would call them in the Cowboys community: Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons. Just my thoughts on each one of them, what they really talked about this week, the things that they said, and just my feelings on them. First, let's talk about obviously Dak. He was first in the news. We talked about him a little bit on the final word. And basically, they were asking about Brian Schottenheimer, run game, and then also obviously talking about the Eagles that saying that we're close. I mean, pretty much what I got out of it is, I like Dak. I mean, I think, like I said, I think he's a great leader, doing what he did for the Cancer Foundation. I think he's a great leader. I mean, he speaks very well. He looks energetic. He looks like he's ready to get it back going. So it looks like his blood is probably going because Eagles just won. Obviously, a lot of critics out there. But, I mean, just me when he was saying, we talked about how the final word Tuesday when he was saying he said we're close. I mean, we're right there. I mean, he basically said we pretty much beating the Eagles and Redskins, Commanders regularly. It's not like I got losing records against them. So it's not like Dallas ain't handling them. So I think from that aspect, when he's saying we're close, it's not like the Eagles are dominating the Cowboys year in and year out in the division. The Commanders are not dominating the Cowboys year in and year out. It's the other way around. So from that aspect, I can see where he said, well, we're close because we beating them in the division all the time. Hey, they had a crazy defense that went crazy, and it's up to us now. I can't get mad at that. I don't really want to be hearing that at this point from really anybody from Cowboy Land, but I'm not mad at what he said because it is the truth. They do be whooping Philly. They do be whooping Washington. But at the end of the day, if he's talking about that part of it, I can agree with him when he's saying we ain't that far away because we be whooping them. So they just won a Super Bowl and we be smashing them. But, they win and when it counts. And I think that's the biggest thing with me. Obviously the Super Bowls Jalen Hurts went to the first time. It was an easy road because you had the Giants who were not good. And then you played the Niners when you heard Brock Purdy in the first quarter. And we all knew that quarterback that came in, it was over. They were going to the Super Bowl. And then in this last one, you saw what happened. I always said defense wins championships. So you saw that defense was a monster. So I'm not mad about, what Dak said, but we'll see. Like he said our time is we up next. We'll see. Because y'all been saying that for a long time. Y'all been saying a long time. Y'all gonna take the next step. We'll see. I'm pessimistic against that because there's been a lot of that talk year in and year out, and it's been constant failures, wherever it may be, from the front office to the coach and to the players. Like I said, y'all dropped the ball somehow, some kind of way. And like I said, I don't need to put it on one individual. It's a whole team that does it. From the organization down, y'all just be not making the big plays when it matters the most. And that's what y'all need to do. And until y'all do that, it's going to be the same old thing. So I don't really have too much to say about Dak because I really just don't be wanting to talk about Dak no more. Like, he's just a lightning rod. I mean, good God, I get sick of talking about him. So, yeah, Dak, what you said, you wasn't wrong with what you said, but guess what? Y'all got to play big in them big games, and it ain't against them Eagles. It's against, like I said, them Niners when y'all ain't beat them in, 2-3 years. The Buffalo Bills, who got Josh Allen, where everybody says he's overrated, whatever. Beat Dallas. Miami Dolphins, they weren't great. Beat Dallas, but they was a top team at the time. Baltimore Ravens, top team. Beat Dallas. You get what I'm saying? So there's a little trend right there. Yeah, we already know about the Eagles. Yeah, we already know about the Commanders. But these other teams that you're talking about that are playoff bound and going to the playoffs consistently, did you beat those teams when you needed to? Did you beat them teams when it mattered the most? And that's what I'm talking about with that noise. All right, now with CeeDee Lamb, they interviewed him and said, who's crazier, Cowboys fans, Eagles fans, who are like pretty much like the most loyal, who are the most, you know, rowdiest. And he said the Eagles. And he said Cowboys come deep, but I don't want to get in trouble. But this Eagles fans is fanatics, which I can't disagree with that. Eagles fans is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Eagles fans go hard in the paint like they crazy. Like they nuts. But they've been like that since I've been a little kid. They've been, we want Dallas. Same with Washington. We want Dallas. Like they always, I don't know what it is. They say little brother syndrome. I don't know what it is, but it's like we're the bar. Dallas is the bar. No matter what they say, that is the bar. Because if they weren't the bar, you wouldn't talk about them like that. I don't never hear the Philadelphia Eagles saying we want Giants or we want Washington. I don't hear Washington say we want Philly. I don't hear Washington saying we want New York. They always say in Dallas. So no matter what them fans say or what the players say, Dallas is still the standard. Even if they ain't been going to the Super Bowl, even if they haven't been. What up, big dog? Told you we in these work streets. But if they're not the standard, you don't always mention them. You get what I'm saying? You don't mention them if they ain't the standard. And I ain't saying Dallas been whooping ass or doing anything like that. And I got nothing to say about Philly because they just won a Super Bowl. But if you're still talking about Dallas after all that, it still must be a standard. Or I don't know. Because if it ain't a standard, I ain't mentioning another team. Or maybe you just hate Dallas so much that you just like rub it in Dallas's face. I don't know, but it just feels like Dallas is a standard. And because it's a standard, you always want to let everybody know this ain't the standard no more. It's this. So I think that's what happens with that. But I can understand where CD comes from when he's talking about Cowboys fans ain't like fanatics and going crazy at the games like they do. It don't be raucous, the crowd. And I think, in my opinion, with that is just the front office. I feel like the front office has made a lot of people that way. We go to game, and I also think that, well, a lot of Cowboys fans are just fans because it's the Dallas Cowboys. It's the cool thing to like. You know what I mean? And they ain't really been put in a lot of work being real fans. You know what I mean? And I think that's a part of it. And then I also think a part of it is, like I said, front office, players. We've seen time and time again in these playoff games, Dallas let the fans down. So fans probably might not are on the edge of their seats because we are naturally thinking disaster is going to happen because that's what's been happening for so many years. Disaster. And what happened with Green Bay. So Dallas fans probably weren't loud because they're probably thinking in the back of their head, we're supposed to win this game. We're supposed to win this game, but we always choke these type of games. And what did Dallas do? They went and choked and laid an egg. Now, maybe the fans been louder, been crazy to get everybody pumped up? Yep, that's probably true. But at the end of the day, I see a lot of failures in these games, and I think because those failures are prevalent, it puts Cowboys fans on edge, and so they're not so quick to be so cheery because in the back of their mind they think, oh, if it's one bad play, oh, here we go again. I really feel like that's the thought, and that's why there ain't the raucous, crazy crowd, because we always think something bad gonna happen. So it's hard to it's hard to cheer because you always on edge because you like Dallas should win this game, but are they gonna choke it? That's just what I feel. I don't know what a lot of other Cowboys fans feel. That's from my perspective, that Dallas done had too many letdowns, bad letdowns, where they were should have won and they didn't. So it just puts fans on edge so they don't know how to cheer. That's just me. I ain't making an excuse, but I just feel like that's what happens. And lastly, the thing about Micah Parsons. Now, I made a tweet saying, yo, that put a little fire in my belly. Listen to Micah saying, yo, we need to be a little more active in free agency because I'm tired of these other teams, getting a one up, and while Dallas still staying, they're sitting there chilling. That's what I'm gonna paraphrase it because that's what a lot of us have been saying. I mean, kudos to Michael for saying that. I like hearing the players say it because I feel like the fans and content creators, whatever, we can only go so far with it. Do I feel like because Micah Parsons said, "Hey, we need to go on free agency, we need to get this and this," that Jones is like, "Oh, okay," because Micah said we're gonna go out and do it right now? No, I don't believe that. I absolutely don't believe that. But I do like hearing the players put pressure on the front office, and to me, that's pressure. Doesn't mean they're actually going to go out there and do it, but when you got your top guys pressuring you, saying, "Hey, we need to do something for agency this year. We need to we need to get this championship. I want a championship." I really feel like that from Micah. Micah wants a championship, so he's outspoken. I always love that about him is that he don't care. He's outspoken. He don't care. He's gonna say what he feel, and that's what I appreciate about him. CD kind of says it when he needs to. But I think he's been more vocal the last couple of years. Like, look, we can't be wasting my years. I'm 25, Micah 25. We getting in them prime years where we got to make something happen now. And so I feel like that's where they're coming from, especially Micah. He wants to get a chip. And he wants to get in his young years. He don't want to play until he's 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, and still not having the opportunity to win a championship. You don't got that many years in the NFL. So, it's now or never. So I feel like that's that's what I was getting from him. I also said in a tweet that I like to see, Dak and, the other leaders to, put the pressure on. Now, I don't think Dak has not put pressure, but I think the way he does it is in a different way. He don't do it like Micah, and I can't expect everybody to be the same. His delivery ain't gonna be like Micah's delivery. Micah's delivery ain't gonna be like Dak's. Micah's more straightforward to me. He don't really mince his words with it. He just comes out and says it. Where Dak, I think, he's a little bit more diplomatic in how he says things because he doesn't want, from what I want to get the wrong interpretation about him. So I think that's why he says it the way he says it. But, he had interviews where they asked him when he was talking about Mike McCarthy, where he said, "I want Mike McCarthy to come back and be able the opportunity to do it his way, have more control." So I feel like if he's saying that, then if do it his way, have more control, that's basically saying, Jerry, Steven, back up a little bit. Let this man do his job. Let him go out and get some people. Let him go out and do some things, and then let it happen naturally instead of y'all always in the way and meddling. That's what I got from that interview with Jory Epstein when he was talking about that. I feel like so he has said it, but he says it in a different way. So I just want them to continue to keep on saying it. That's all I'm saying on my Twitter. Keep on putting the pressure because I feel like pressure only comes so far or goes so far with fans and content creators or whoever. It only goes so far. I think pressure becomes more real when the players are speaking out and saying it. Hey, we need to kind of maybe think about a little something different because we tired of this. Yes, I feel like players do have an influence, especially your top guys, and if they start saying it loud enough, maybe change happens. And as I said before, Stephen Jones said in that interview with Brian Schottenheimer, we're going to think about looking at free agency a little bit different. Now you got the players in them saying it, and you got the staff is finally finalized. It looks like it's a really good staff from the outside looking in. A lot of first-year guys, but I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at a lot of your first-year guys, a lot of younger guys in the fold. I like that too. So, I can deal with, I don't want a lot of old heads in there. I want the younger heads, around the 50-year-old guys that are still kind of in that area where they can still relate to these younger guys. So the staff looks good. We'll see. We'll see what the front office is really going to do, if they're really going to step out there and really tap in free agency. That's the only thing I'm watching right now. I already know how they draft. I want to see if there's going to be a different in free agency because Stephen Jones said that we're going to think about looking at this and doing things a little different. And I think that's because they handpicked their guy, and like they did with Garrett, so they don't want him to fail because they don't want to look bad. So this is the opportunity. That's why I said this is the best opportunity for them to do something in free agency because it's a hand-picked guy that they picked from that, and they don't want to look bad with egg on their face. So this would be actually the best time for it to happen because he's homegrown. And if he's homegrown, they're going to probably give more things to him for them to be right. And if they got to do more things for him for them to be right, I don't care. Just do what you got to do. And if you do that, Cowboys, it's on you. If the free agent front office finally does something it ain't did in forever, and they do it, then there ain't no excuses from the Cowboys. Y'all got to make the plays and do it in these games. Big Game James, I'm out. Peace.